All right, so, we've been getting a ton of questions about this whole cryptocurrency wallet thing.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's trying to figure out this whole crypto thing these days.
Exactly. And, it can seem a little intimidating at first. All this talk about keys and blockchains and all that.
Definitely. Not exactly something you learn about in high school.
Right. So you sent me a bunch of articles and videos about cryptocurrency wallets, and I gotta say, some of the stuff is pretty dense.
Yeah, a lot of the technical jargon can be tough to wrap your head around.
So that's why we're doing this deep dive today, to break it all down in plain English.
Exactly. We're going to unpack what these wallets actually are, how they work, and most importantly, how to keep your crypto safe.
Because let's be real, nobody wants to lose their hard-earned Bitcoin or Ethereum because they didn't understand how wallets work.
It's like imagine you win the lottery,
Oh, yeah.
but then you lose the ticket before you can even cash it in.
Ouch. That's a painful analogy.
That's what it's like losing your private keys in the crypto world.
Okay, so let's start with the basics then. What exactly is a cryptocurrency wallet? I'll admit, when I first heard the term, I pictured you know,
A little leather pouch.
yeah, like a tiny leather pouch with little Bitcoin bills stuffed inside.
We got not quite.
So if it's not a physical wallet, what is it?
Think of a crypto wallet more like a high-tech keychain.
Okay, a keychain.
It doesn't actually hold the currency itself. Instead, it holds the keys, your private and public keys.
Keys. Okay, now we're getting even more mysterious.
Not really. They're basically long strings of letters and numbers that let you interact with the cryptocurrency on the blockchain.
Blockchain.
Right. Think of the blockchain as like a giant digital receipt book that everyone can see. It keeps track of every single crypto transaction.
Okay, so every time someone buys or sells Bitcoin, it gets recorded on this massive blockchain.
Exactly. It's like a public ledger that ensures transparency and security.
So where do the keys come in?
Well, your public key is like your account number. You
Yeah.
can give it to anyone who wants to send you cryptocurrency.
So like if someone wants to pay me in Bitcoin for, let's say, writing them an epic poem.
Exactly. They would send it to your public key, which is associated with your wallet.
Got it. And what about this private key?
Ah, that's the really important one. The private key is like your secret PIN.
Yeah.
You never share this with anyone.
Hmm.
It's what gives you the power to actually spend or transfer your cryptocurrency.
Okay, this is starting to make sense. So the wallet itself isn't holding the coins, it's holding these keys that unlock my crypto on the blockchain.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And like any valuable key, you need to keep it safe. That's where all these different types of wallets come in hot wallets and cold wallets.
Hot wallets and cold wallets. Those names sound kind of, I don't know.
Dramatic?
Yeah, a little bit like something out of a spy movie.
Well, it's all about whether your keys are connected to the internet or not. Hot wallets are always online. Think of them like the debit card in your pocket. Super convenient for quick transactions, but maybe a bit riskier if someone gets a hold of it.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. So cold wallets are like hiding the keys under a rock in the backyard.
Pretty much. Offline and away from prying digital eyes. Think of them like your savings account, safer. But you don't want to go through the hassle of digging them up every time you buy a coffee.
Makes sense. So walk me through some examples. What would a hot wallet actually look like?
Well, Software Wallet is a good example. It's an app you download on your phone or computer, kind of like your banking app.
Okay, so I could have a Bitcoin wallet app right next to my, my Starbucks app.
Exactly. Let's say you use the Electrum wallet.
Electrum.
Yeah. You can easily send and receive Bitcoin right from your phone. Super convenient. But it's connected to the internet, so there's always that risk of a hacker trying to break in.
Okay, I see the trade-off there.
Yeah.
What about those web-based wallets I've heard about? Are they hot too?
Definitely hot. And even more so. These live entirely online, often managed by a third party, like an exchange. Think of it like online banking. You can access your funds from anywhere, but you're relying on their security measures.
So it's super convenient, but I'm putting a lot of trust in that third party. What if they get hacked, or even worse, go bankrupt?
That's the big question. And it's where things get interesting with the whole custodial versus non-custodial debate. We'll definitely dig into that a bit later. But first, let's chill out and explore the world of cold wallets.
Bring on the ice packs. I'm ready to explore these super secure options. Okay, so we've got our hot wallets, convenient, but a bit risky. And then we've got our cold wallets, super secure, but maybe not for everyday spending.
Right. It's all about finding that balance between security and convenience.
So I'm ready to bundle up and explore these cold storage options. Let's start with
Hardware wallets.
hardware wallets. I'm picturing like a,
Little metal box.
yeah, like a little vault for my keys.
You're not far off. They're small physical devices, often resembling USB drives.
Oh, okay.
And you plug them into your computer only when you need to make a transaction.
So the rest of the time, my keys are just chilling offline, like completely isolated from the internet.
Exactly. Even if your computer's infected with malware, a hacker can't get to your crypto because the keys are safely stored on the hardware wallet.
So it's like having a separate offline bank vault for my Bitcoin.
That's a great way to think about it. And remember those recovery phrases we talked about.
Yeah.
Even if you lose the hardware wallet itself, you can still recover your crypto with that phrase.
Okay, that's a huge relief. I was
Yeah.
kind of worried about that. So it sounds like hardware wallets are like the ultimate security solution, right?
They're definitely one of the most secure options, but like anything, there are some trade-offs.
Oh, like what?
Well, for one, they're not free. Hardware wallets usually cost somewhere between $100 to $200.
Okay, so not exactly pocket change.
And while they're fantastic for long-term storage, they're not as convenient as a hot wallet if you're making transactions all the time.
I see. So it's about finding that balance. Again, hardware wallet's great for the set it and forget it approach to crypto. But what if I want something even more? I don't know, old school.
Like paper wallets.
Yeah, paper wallets. There's something so intriguing about having your crypto fortune represented by a piece of paper. But how does it actually work?
It's surprisingly simple. It's basically printing your public and private keys onto a piece of paper, often in the form of scannable QR codes.
So I could literally keep my crypto fortune tucked away in a safe deposit box.
You absolutely could. But here's the catch. If that paper gets lost, damaged, or stolen, your crypto is gone forever. No recovery option.
Okay, suddenly that paper feels a lot heavier.
Right, so paper wallets are super secure if you handle them with extreme care. But for most people, the peace of mind and recoverability of a hardware wallet might be a better fit.
Okay, this is all incredibly helpful. I'm starting to see how choosing the right wallet depends on how you plan to use your crypto and how much risk you're comfortable with.
Exactly. And before we wrap up, there's one more layer we need to peel back. Custodial versus non-custodial wallets. Remember how we talked about those web-based wallets often being managed by a third party?
Yeah, like my crypto is hanging out on someone else's server. That didn't sound super safe.
It's the trade-off for convenience. Custodial wallets mean someone else is holding your keys for, you think of it like a bank holding your money. It's easy to access, but you're relying on their security and their solvency.
Okay, so non-custodial is like, I'm the one holding the keys buried treasure style.
Exactly. You have complete control over your crypto, but it also means you're responsible for keeping those keys safe. No third party to call if you lose them.
So custodial is like renting an apartment in a secure building, convenient, but you have a landlord. And non-custodial is like owning your own island fortress.
Yeah.
Ultimate control, but you're responsible for everything.
I love that analogy, and it highlights why a lot of people in the crypto community prefer non-custodial wallets. You're not relying on anyone else, and you have full control over your assets.
Right. Especially after you mentioned what could happen if an exchange could bankrupt.
Exactly. Remember that quote from Coinbase's report. If an exchange goes under cryptos, customers with assets in their custodial wallets could become unsecured creditors. It means their crypto could be tied up in legal battles for years. Not a situation you want to be in.
Definitely not. Okay, so I'm seeing the appeal of non-custodial wallets, even if it means I have to be extra vigilant about security.
It's all about weighing the risks and rewards. And speaking of risk, remember how we talked about the importance of securing those private keys? Well, there's one more piece of the puzzle that's crucial to understand seed phrases.
Seed phrases. That sound almost poetic, like a little rhyme that unlocks my crypto kingdom.
It kind of is. Think of it as a backup for your private key. A set of 12 to 24 words that can be used to regenerate that key if you ever lose access to your wallet.
Okay, so it's like a master key in word form. If I lose my hardware wallet or forget my password, this seed phrase can save the day.
Exactly. But here's the crucial part. You need to store this phrase securely offline. Write it down on a piece of paper, engrave it on a metal plate, store it in a fireproof safe, anything but on your computer or online.
Got it. Treat that seed phrase like the crown jewels, keep it safe and hidden away from any digital dangers.
Now you're getting it. And with that, I think we've covered the essentials of cryptocurrency wallets.
We've gone from picturing tiny leather pouches to understanding the complexities of hot and cold storage custodial versus non-custodial and the power of seed phrases. I feel like I've leveled up my crypto knowledge.
You definitely have. But before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a little challenge to ponder.
A challenge? I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
If you were to design the perfect cryptocurrency wallet, what features would it have? What would it take to strike that ideal balance between security and user-friendliness?
Ooh, that's a good one. It really makes you think about the future of crypto and how we can make these wallets both secure and accessible for everyone.
Exactly. It's a constantly evolving space, and innovation is happening all the time. But the fundamental principles we've discussed today, understanding keys, securing your seed phrase, weighing the risks and benefits of different wallet types, those will always be essential.
I'm ready to take on that challenge. And for anyone listening, I encourage you to do the same. All right, so we've covered a ton of ground on these cryptocurrency wallets, but before we let everyone go, I want to make sure we're leaving our listeners with some next steps.
Yeah, totally. It's one thing to understand all this stuff in theory, but it's another thing to actually put it into practice.
Exactly. So, where would you say someone should go from here if they're ready to actually dive into the world of crypto wallets?
Well, I'd say the first and most important thing is to do your research.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Don't just jump into the first wallet that pops up on Google or whatever.
Right. Take some time to compare different options, see what's out there.
Exactly. Look into those security features we talked about.
Yeah.
Make sure they've got a solid track record.
Right. Like you don't want to trust your crypto to some fly-by-night operation.
Exactly. And pay really close attention to how they handle those seed phrases.
Oh, yeah, the seed phrases. That's like your lifeline if you lose access to your wallet.
Exactly. So you want to make sure they've got robust security measures in place for storing those phrases.
So no storing it on your computer or in your email drafts or anything like that?
Definitely not.
Uh,
Offline and secure. That's the name of the game.
okay, offline and secure. Got it. And I guess another thing to consider is your own needs and how you plan to use your crypto.
Absolutely. Are you a frequent trader, or are you more of a buy and hold kind of investor?
Right, because if you're constantly moving crypto around, you might need a different type of wallet than someone who's just holding for the long term.
Exactly. And are you dealing with multiple cryptocurrencies or just sticking to one like Bitcoin?
Yeah, because we talked about those multi-chain wallets that can support a bunch of different coins.
Right. Those can be super helpful if you've got a diverse portfolio. But again, do your research. Make sure you choose a provider you trust.
It's kind of like choosing a bank, right? You wouldn't just deposit all your money into any random bank without checking them out first.
Precisely.
Mm.
You want to make sure they're reputable and they've got a good track record.
Okay, so we talked about security, we talked about different types of wallets. Anything else we should mention before we wrap up?
Well, I think it's worth revisiting that whole custodial versus non-custodial debate one more time.
Oh, yeah, good point. Because that's a big decision for a lot of people.
It is. Think about your comfort level with trusting a third party versus having complete control over your own keys.
Right. Custodial might be easier for beginners, but for those who really value privacy and control, non-custodial is the way to go.
It all comes down to finding the right balance for your individual circumstances. There's no one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to crypto.
Well, I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about today. I hope they feel more confident navigating the world of crypto wallets now.
Me too. It's an exciting space with so much potential, but it's important to be informed and take steps to protect yourself.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, cryptocurrency is all about empowering individuals, giving them more control over their finances.
And crypto wallets are a crucial part of that equation.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, folks, that's about all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Thanks for joining us.
And remember, stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay secure.